Good morning. Welcome to Escoffier Online. My name is Chef Caesar. Today I'm going to be preparing for you an authentic Mexican-style shrimp cocktail. This is a little bit different than the one we used to, where we have the cocktail sauce on the side, which is cook the shrimp, and that's with presented dish. This everything's mixed together, like close like a ceviche, but not quite like. We're using shrimp, and shrimp are fully cooked, and we're using some cucumbers, some tomatoes, some jalapeno peppers, some onions, some tomato juice, some ketchup, and I'm gonna start by cooking my shrimp. You can obviously get the shrimp cooked already, but honestly, I would not recommend it. Those shrimp that you buy cooked, not really that good. That's my opinion. But if you want, that's okay too. I mean, they're so easy to cook. I got some shrimp here, like 21, 25. You can get smaller ones because some of this I'm gonna cut up into small pieces. You don't have to, but since they're pretty big, I'm gonna cut them up. That way you can easy to eat. And I'm gonna start by preparing my poaching liquid. I got my water here going, and I'm gonna add some bay leaves, some whole peppercorns, some lemon here, and also I'm gonna add some Old Bay seasoning. This is gonna fix my water. I'm gonna get some flavor. You don't want to just cook the shrimp in the plain water because you want to, enhance some flavor into the shrimp. So first of all, I'm gonna, cut my lemon in half, squeeze the juice in there, and just throw the lemon in there, okay? And I got about a half a gallon of water, maybe a little bit more. You just want to have enough liquid to cover the shrimp. Next, I'm gonna throw some peppercorns. About 1 tablespoon of peppercorns, something like that. Okay. I got some bay leaves here. Okay. If they're kind of small, so about 4. If they're big, 3 would be enough. And then we're gonna throw some of this Old Bay seafood seasoning. You can buy this at any grocery store. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of this. This is gonna make a nice flavor in the liquid for my shrimp. And you can use this for other seafood too, like you cook crawfish or other stuff that you might want to use. That's fine too. So I'm gonna get my water going here real quick. In the meantime, I'm gonna start chopping up my vegetables here. I got a seedless cucumber here. I'm gonna strip peel this. You can peel the skin off if you want, but I like some of the color, bright green. It's a nice contrast with the red, with the white flesh from the cucumber. So I'm gonna cut that. Got my water here. I'm gonna let it go. I wanna, infuse some flavor into the liquid. You don't want to put the shrimp right away. And you can also use cucumbers with the seeds on, but make sure you take the seeds off. But these are the seedless cucumbers. They're nice and crunchy. Okay. And this is a really nice, refreshing dish, especially now that we have hopefully the summer time coming our way. It makes a nice appetizer. Even you can use just an entree, make it a whole meal. And you're gonna see this is so easy to make. Okay. Just slice it just like that. I'm sure some of you already had this before. Maybe you go into a Mexican restaurant, it's really popular. But again, you can also make it at home. You will see how easy it is to make this dish at home. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna put some of this in my bowl here. I got my water almost ready for my shrimp to go in there. Okay. I already got my onions cut up. When you guys do the onions, squeeze the lime juice and put it with the onions about 5 minutes before. That way you're gonna take away some of the strong smell of the onions, and also you want to get them a little wilted. It's the way that I do it. Now I'm gonna throw my shrimp in my liquid here. Okay, I have to go my shrimp in there. And be careful not to overcook shrimp. They get a little tough rubber. You want to just cook them right on. About 5 minutes or so. And I got my I'm got some ice here ready to cool them off. As soon as they get ready, I'm gonna put them in here. I'm gonna put some cold water in here. Otherwise, they're gonna keep cooking. I don't want that. I want them to cook them right on. So I put some cold water with my ice here. As you can see, this is gonna start to turn a little pinkish. In the meantime, I'm gonna keep cutting my vegetables over here. I got some Roma tomatoes here, about 2 of them. You only want the flesh, you don't want the seeds, so I'm gonna just cut around the seeds. Just like that. And you can save the seeds if you wanna maybe use them for a tomato sauce. You can freeze them, you know, this part. But I'm now not using them, I'm gonna throw them away. But you're at home, you can put them in a plastic bag, freeze them, and use them later on for like a tomato sauce or something. They're great. So you can be doing a lot of different things. Cooking your shrimp, chopping your vegetables at the same time. Just keep an eye on your shrimp. You don't want to overcook them. Okay. Now I'm gonna dice my tomatoes. Okay. If you guys have any questions, make sure you ask me along the way, okay? I like when you guys ask questions. I'm doing a lot of chopping. A nice way to practice your knife skills too here. And once you make this shrimp cocktail, you want to let it like rest for about an hour before we, serve it. You want the flavors to come together. You can also, use it a couple of days later. You don't want to keep it too long in the refrigerator. Since we're dealing with seafood, they don't. You don't want to go more than 3 days without using your shrimp cocktail. Okay. There we go. And you don't want to have the water boiling too rapidly. You just want to kind of simmer in. We just want to poach the shrimp. As you can see, it's got like a little simmering going on in my water right now. Okay. You can see. They're almost there. So I'm going to put some of this vegetables together. Also, I got some jalapeno peppers here. One will be enough. If you want to make it a little more spicy, feel free. Also, I'm gonna leave the seeds in there because I kind of like a little spicy. But if you can, if you want, take the seeds out of here. If you don't want to, spicy. But one jalapeno is good enough. This one. Chop it up too. You can also use serrano peppers. If you don't have jalapenos, they work really good too. Okay. Now I got my vegetables getting ready here. If you guys want to wear gloves at home, that's fine too. I'm used to this, so I'm not wearing gloves to chop the peppers, but if you want, you can at home. Now I got this going here. As you can see, it's nice and cold over here. Now we're gonna check our shrimp over here, see if they're kind of ready. And you can see when they're when they're done, you want to kind of squeeze them. They get a little firm. When you put them there, they're kind of mushy, but now they're like nice and firm, which means that they're done. We're gonna take them out of here. Otherwise, they're gonna overcook. Okay. See, I got my water over here ready to stop the cooking process. Excuse me. Let's see. I got about a pound of shrimp here. You can always do more, but the recipe, I'm doing for a pound of shrimp. You can always add more, like I said, if you want to have more shrimp in there. So I'm going to turn my heat off here, push to the side here. I'm going to let the shrimp cool off a little more all the way before I start chopping them up. And I left some with the tail on, as you can see here. I want to use this for my garnish and my plate once I played my shrimp cocktail, but most of them I took the tails off because I want to make sure you don't have any shells in there. But if you want to leave some on for like garnish your dishes once you present it to your guests, that's great too. It's a real nice way to kind of pick up the shrimp from the tail and eat it. Normally when you do a regular shrimp cocktail like the one I was telling you about, you leave the tails on because you want to just dip it in the sauce. But this is different. You mix everything together. So we want to take the shells out of there. Now we have I got my tomato juice here and some ketchup. If you want to use some tomato juice that has some clam juice mix, you can use that too. I'm using some plain tomato juice here and some ketchup. Make sure they're cold. You want to keep them cold. That way it's nice and chill when you mix them together. And I'm gonna add some hot sauce here to my tomato sauce here. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of hot sauce. You can use Tabasco. I'm using Cholula sauce right now, but Tabasco works really well too. Okay. There you go. Okay, we have a question from one of our students.
They want to know if you should wear gloves to handle the peppers.
Okay, the question was, should you wear gloves to handle the peppers? That's up to you. Like I said before, I'm used to this, so I mean, if you want to put gloves, because sometimes they're kind of hot and you might forget about, you have peppers in your hands, you might touch your eyes, and it will not be good. So, recommend at home you guys use gloves. Myself, I'm used to this. I'm kind of, careful with that. But again, use gloves at home if you guys, feel that you're gonna be safe. So I don't mind. So we got this. Now we're gonna chop some cilantro here. This is a good ingredient to go into the cocktail. But half a bunch of cilantro. I got a whole bunch, but I'm gonna use about half. I'm gonna take some of the stems out of here. And make sure you wash this before you use it. Sometimes it got some sand. Make sure you rinse it off really well with some cold water. And then we're ready to go. So I'm going to take some of this stems out of here. In the meantime, I got my shrimp cooling over here. As you can see, you can be doing many different things all at once. You got your shrimp going, you got, poaching the shrimp, you got chopping your vegetables. This is a nice way to practice multitask, like they say. As you can see, it's really easy, so just keep in mind. And you're going to end up with a wonderful, tasty, shrimp cocktail. Okay, here we go. This smells wonderful. I love cilantro. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to chop this, put it into our shrimp cocktail. See how I'm bunching it together? It's really easy to chop. You keep it like a little bunch like this. It's all simple. There. Go. I'm going to put it right with the tomato sauce in here. Okay. I'm going to rinse my hands off. Take all this. Okay. Make sure you clean as you go when you're doing prep, so it's kind of nice to. Okay. Now I'm going to mix my cilantro here. This is going to be my sauce for the shrimp cocktail. Now I'm going to add this ketchup. I got about a cup of ketchup here too. Okay. And you can make it more spicy if you want. Like I said, you can add more jalapeños or a little more sauce. But this should be good because the ketchup is sweet, so it's really not going to be that hot. It's going to balance out really nice with the crunchy from the vegetables. Okay. Got it nice and mixed really good here. Now I'm gonna throw my onions that I have soaking with the lime juice in here. I got about 1 to a couple onions, real small dice, and I put it with the lime juice to soak before I even start the preparation. Like I said before, this takes a little bit of the strong smell of the onions. Also, you can use red onions if you want. I'm using white, but you can use red. It kind of, gives a nice color too. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this aside, and I'm gonna drain my shrimp out of here. Drain the water off. Okay. And I'm gonna chop the shrimp a little bit. As you can see, they're really big. If you have some little tiny shrimp, you don't have to. You can just add them whole. But since they're kind of big, I'm gonna chop them up a little bit so it's easy to eat. And I'm gonna put it right in here with the rest of the vegetables. Okay, something like this. Let's see, they're cooked really nice. And once you cook shrimp enough, you're gonna know when they're done. You really don't need a thermometer. You're gonna know just by feeling the meat. When you do meats or shrimp, you're gonna know this. It just takes a little practice, and you will get there. I promise you. I keep telling you guys that it's one of those things that you learn as you practice, and this is one of those things. Once you cook so many pounds of shrimp in your life, you're gonna know when they're ready. Okay. I'm going to save the ones with the tails for my garnish my cocktail then, once I do the plating. Okay. This is nice. You can also use octopus to make a cocktail like this. You have to do the same way, cook the octopus. Obviously, you're going to cook it longer because octopus is a little tough, so you're going to poach this. If you use baby octopus, they're really nice and tender. But if you use the regular big ones, you have to, poach it for a longer time than you do shrimp. It's like cooking a tough piece of meat the same way. And sometimes you see octopus included, in the shrimp cocktail, which works really good. Okay, another one. I'm almost getting there. Look at this wonderful shrimp. They smell really nice from all the spices I put in there. You smell the bay leaf, the lemon. Okay, look at that. I got my shrimp all cut up here. Get this out of the way. Now I'm going to add my shrimp to my vegetables here. You can see they're nice big chunks. If you were to buy the smaller ones, you probably don't have to chop them up. You might leave them whole, but since they're too big, I want to cut them up, and it's easier to eat when you serve your dish. Okay, now I'm gonna mix this. As you can see, I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. Some black pepper as well. Now I'm going to use my sauce I got here with the tomato juice, the ketchup, hot sauce, and the cilantro. As you can see that. It's a nice, refreshing dish. And it's very easy to make, as you can see. It really doesn't take much to do. Now we got everything blended in here. Just look at this. Now we're missing one ingredient. It's a really good one. You want to put it then. We got to put some avocado pieces in here. But you don't want to put this right away because you don't want to break them up when you're mixing it up. So you want to do that right then. Once you blend it like this, and it smells really good. I'm going to taste the sauce a little bit, make sure it's got enough salt in there. It's going to be kind of sweet. It's great. Oh, it's got a nice kick. You guys are going to like this. A little spicy here because I left the seeds for the jalapeno peppers. So at home, you probably want to take them off because sometimes they're really hot. Okay, now we're going to put this aside. And I'm going to cut some avocados. And the recipe calls for 2, but if you got big ones like this, 1 is big enough. These are nice avocados from Mexico. And if they're big like this, 1 is more than enough. You can always put more if you want. But, Okay. Make Careful when you take the pit out of here. There you go. Now we're going to peel avocados. I'm going to cut them in half to peel, make it easy to peel the skin off. I could have put this in a paper bag overnight. A little bit hard, but it's still good. See? If you want them to get them ripe really overnight, put them in a paper bag. It works really good. So this is a huge avocado. It's nice. Look at this. Now we're going to... Okay. All right. Take the skin off. I'm going to cut this in half too so we can take the skin off as well. We're going to be ready to plate this pretty soon. In a few minutes, once I put avocado in there, I'm going to show you. I made a little nice plating vessel I'm going to show you that you can do at home too. Okay. All right, cooperate here with you. All right, now I got nice and skin off. Okay, now I'm going to chop my avocado into little, dice it up. Let's see this. Be careful when you do this. It's kind of slippery once you, take the skin off, so be careful not to cut yourself. Here you go. It's nice and creamy. This is going to add nice texture to your shrimp cocktail. Also going to take some of the heat away too when you put it in there. One should be good enough because they're really big. But if you want to, got two little ones, I would recommend putting two in here. It wouldn't hurt. Okay. Got little wedges here. Yes, we have another question over here.
They want to know if you could use horseradish instead of peppers.
Okay. The question was, can you use horseradish instead of peppers? Yeah, you can use horseradish. Obviously, the flavors can be a little bit different. But, again, it's going to be a little spicy. Horseradish that could be a little spicy if you don't add too much. So, because we normally use horseradish to make, cocktail sauce, like I was telling you before. The regular shrimp cocktail we are accustomed here to, that the sauce comes in the side. It's made with horseradish. So, yeah, you can add some horseradish if you really want to. Okay, now I got the avocado cut up here. And I'm going to slowly fold it in there. You're going to see how nice it looks at the end. We're almost ready here to... Normally you would leave this shrimp cocktail to rest in the cooler for an hour before we serve it. Okay. To wash my hands over here. Okay, now I got everything in here. I'm gonna fold it in there. You don't want to kind of go slow, like folding, egg whites into a cake. Really slow, so you don't want to break up the avocado pieces. You want to kind of keep them, whole. And now we're ready to, at this point, you will cover this with some plastic wrap, put it in the cooler for about an hour before you serve it, so all the flavors come together. But since we're gonna, shorten time, I'm gonna plate one of this. I made a nice little ice bowl here, and you can do this. I just took two little dishes like the one I got over here with my cilantro, fill it halfway with water and put another one on top and put some lime and cilantro inside there and the sides, and it freezes up. And you got a real nice presentation bowl here, okay? Now I got this nice plate over here, and we're gonna put it in here. But you see it's gonna slide around. How do we keep it from moving around? So it's really easy, okay? Put some salt down, some coarse salt, in the center of the plate. This is gonna stop your little ice bowl from moving around. Put it in here, you see? It doesn't move anymore. So that's how you make it from moving around. So I'm gonna cut some lime to garnish my dish here. And you can do just a regular little, ceramic bowl. It doesn't have to be something like this. You can make whatever. One more slide over here. Okay, right there. And normally we serve this with some crackers. You can do some tortilla chips. I got some flatbread chips over here. And okay, now we're gonna pour this in there. So you can see this. Look at that. It's a nice little serving dish here. It's gonna keep it nice and cold too, because ice. And you can keep this in the refrigerator. Once you make the molds, you wrap them in saran wrap and keep them in the freezer. It's really nice. Look at that. Okay. Make sure you clean the dish really good. Now this is my garnish dish. I'm gonna put some around here. Kind of hanging on the edge. There you go. Look at that. Looking good now, huh? Now I got some flatbread little chips here I'm gonna put with this. This is gonna make a nice appetizer. Even the whole meal. Look at this. A big dish. You can make it a whole meal if you want. It doesn't have to be an appetizer. It's nice and refreshing, easy to make. Okay, now we're gonna add a little cilantro tops in here. Just garnish the top. As you can see, this is very easy. And there you have a nice, authentic Mexican-style shrimp cocktail that you can easily make at home. And I hope you guys enjoy the show, and I see you next week. I think we're doing some quail preparation. We're going to make some nice quail, and you're going to love it too. But try to make this at home. It's great, it's easy, and it's really tasty. Thank you. I'll see you next week.